We're watching Capitol Hill very closely. Any moment, the House will be voting on a bipartisan housing bill in an attempt to sync up with the Senate on this legislation that aims to overhaul housing policy and address affordability.
The legislation puts new limits on Wall Street investors buying up single-family homes, speeds up housing construction, expands affordable housing options, helps first-time homebuyers qualify, and boosts manufactured housing access.
Here now to discuss Unleash Prosperity co-founder and America First Policy Institute senior fellow, Steve Moore. Steve, it bloats yet again the federal bureaucracy. It does not, more than it increases the supply of homes. It will restrict the ability of big investors to buy up supply when there is eventually another housing downturn. So we will have homes that are left empty and abandoned. There is so much crap in this sandwich that they're serving up. I'm embarrassed for the Republicans.
So there are some good things in this bill. There was a good faith effort to deregulate and get rid of some of the regulations on building housing, which makes sense. But almost all of the problems, Dagan and Brian, in the housing market are really local and state. Zoning, for example, is a big problem in America where multi-family housing is restricted, and so we've restricted the supply. There's nothing Washington can do about that. That has to be dealt with through mayors and city councils and so on. I hate the idea of restricting what private companies can buy in this country. I mean, this is America, and these private investors buy the homes, they fix them, they renovate them, and they put them back on the market. I don't understand why there's anything sinister about that. And finally, I was listening to your conversation earlier with the congressman from Florida, and he's right that it adds all these new federal spending programs. We don't need that. They're supposed to be cutting spending, Brian, not raising it.
Well, that's a point. That's a point that Senator Rick Scott made. He's one of the people who voted against this, and he said housing's a local issue.
Yep.
The best thing we can do is bring down inflation to help naturally bring down interest rates.
That's right.
Which will put more supply on the market and help buyers. I mean, isn't that the point? The tinkering is a political thing. It allows you to cut the ribbon and say we passed the bill. But the real thing that matters is the hard work of getting your federal budget in order, Steve.
You just listed on your screen the 5 Republican senators who voted against the bill. And guess what, Brian Dagan? They're my 5 favorite presidents. They're my 5 favorite senators. So if they voted no, something is not kosher about this bill. Now, what we had proposed, people like Steve Forbes and Art Laffer and I and Larry Kudlow, is why not cut the capital gains tax, allow people to sell their homes, because people like myself, we've been in our home for a long time. We literally can't afford to sell it because we'd have to pay so much tax. So we need to have a system where older people can sell their homes, they're empty nesters now, and young people like my kids could buy them. But the Congress didn't want to do anything that made sense like that.
I would get on board with that if they wouldn't pass this piece of... Moving on to this, before we let you go.
Yeah.
The group behind California's proposed wealth tax, the SEIU union, Service Workers Union, is trying to win over Governor Gavin Newsom. They're offering to cut the tax from 5%, to just a 2% wealth confiscation if he agrees to back the plan. So far, Newsom is not budging.
So, at least they're moving in the right direction, right? I mean, 2 is better than 5%. And incidentally, I want people to understand that the wealth tax is not just a one-time wealth tax. You pay the 5% for year 1, and then 5% year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So it's a tax on your saving, your investment, and building things in California, which would be a real shame. California, as you guys know, is already the highest income tax state. The top 1% in California pay 40 to 50% of the income tax. So if you chase them out through things like wealth taxes, you may end up losing revenues in a state like California They've got the biggest budget. They've got the highest poverty level. There's so much wrong in California. This isn't going to be solved by taxing millionaires and billionaires at 2% per year.
Well, they call it a one-time tax, but of course you're right.
I don't believe that for a minute.
That's right. Once they do it once, and even if it's 0.02%,
Yes.
once they get their hook in, that percentage is only going up. Steve Moore, good to see you.